Hello, thanks for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. Before we begin, let's remind you that you can watch this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all other of our social media platforms displayed on the screen right now. Regional stakeholders, in collaboration with key global players in humanitarian crises, are strategizing towards stabilizing the Lake Chad basin for enhanced social and economic activities. This came to the fore at the first annual International Forum of the Lake Chad Basin, declared open by Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo.
The network will continue to build on this spirit of cooperation in other areas of intervention and forge new focused paths for sharing information and lessons from our different experiences. There are several studies that deal with different aspects of the security challenge, and a multifaceted approach for long-term security and stability of the region will be determined by discussion and analysis of this body of knowledge that is already available. While there remains much to be done in addressing especially the drivers of insecurity, and where we can use, we must take every opportunity to do so.
This platform is envisaged to provide concrete and practical solutions towards building resilience and improving the livelihoods of the people of the region. It is therefore not surprising that the expressions of interest from individuals and organizations within and outside the basin wishing to attend and contribute to the development of the affected areas is so overwhelming.
Conceived in 2018, it's designed to contribute to the recovery of the Lake Chad region through a set of investment focused on supporting regional coordination, knowledge and monitoring, connectivity and rural mobility, and agricultural livelihood that seek to address the underlying fragility as well as acute humanitarian and post-diplomatic crises in the four countries.
After months of speculations, Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has finally declared to run for president. Jide Onifade will tell us all about it.
It is the arrival of Nigeria's star boy of politics on the starting block. It's claimed one of the several Nigerians who had expected the declaration of interest by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for the presidential race in 2023.
He is somebody that we all believed that you can give your trust and go back and sleep with your two eyes closed. Osinbajo, by extension, is a person from the northwestern part of the country because he keeps very close trust for Mr. President.
After so much suspense, the declaration comes at last.
I believe that the very reason why the Almighty God gave me these experiences, these insights, and these opportunities is that they must be put to the use of our country and its great peoples. Which is why I am today, with utmost humility, formally declaring my intention to run for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of our great party, the All Progressives Congress.
The Vice President says his coming into the race is to heed the call of millions of Nigerians who are rooting for him to be the president come 2023. These admirers refer to him as someone who is well prepared for the job, and that nothing else is new to him when it comes to governance.
Osinbajo. There's no two names like that. Where do I start from? Is it humility? Is it fear of God? Is it not for children? Is it intelligence? He has made business much more easier for us as entrepreneurs in Nigeria.
This trust does not come easily, as the vice president, since assuming office alongside the president in 2015, is said to have touched lives, either on an individual effort or while carrying out official duties.
And take care of you. We will be well. We will make sure that we take care of you and we do the best we can by God's grace.
Twice, the country's economy fell into recession and rose again, and his finger appeared as a trademark on almost every progress the nation has made and still making. As the chairman of the National Economic Council, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo continues to work with state government towards ensuring that the people, even at the grassroots, benefit from the federal government programs.
Accurate traffic reporter, updating you on the traffic situation across the nation. I want to emphasize that our women should be asking for equal representation, not 35%. Equal representation.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo recognizes the potential of the Nigerian youths. A number of projects were designed to help the young Nigerians channel their energy and skills towards the realization of this belief. For instance, in the technology and innovation sector, the Vice President has been working with the youth in developing this sector.
The vice president showing up locally here from a tech standpoint. I know we're talking technology. Tomorrow is going to be the entertainment industry in Hollywood. In terms of the visit, says, I'm committed. I'm very interested in what the youths have to say. I know youths are an integral part of moving Nigeria forward.
Then described him as a true and loyal partner in this enterprise of running this nation. And I believe so much in that he has done very well and he has done credibly well as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Vice President is somebody, based on my own observation in this last 7 to 8 years, somebody that is driven by the notion that government and governance, leadership of people ought to be driven by justice, a heart of justice and a heart of service.
The people believe the Vice President is well cut out for the job, even at higher level position of our President. In the State House, J.J. Onifade, NTA News.
Supporters of Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo have described his decision to answer the call from concerned Nigerians to run for the president as a show of courage and high sense of humility to serve Nigeria. Under the umbrella body National Coalition Group for Yemi Osinbajo, they say the Vice President has the required capacity and experience to drive development of the country. Joseph Ortsen reports.
Senenge Exino-Wade is the author who believes his book, titled Beware of Subtle Attacks, can change the narratives of drug abuse and illicit trafficking. One of the amazing revelations about the book, captured in several chapters and pages, is that it was written based on true life story. The author says as a survivor of drug mishap, he is inspired to put his ordeals together to serve as a positive influencer to the youths.
My interaction with young people or in secondary schools and tertiary institutions have actually inspired me to put the book together. Because sometimes when I go there talking to them, they ask questions that I can't really answer all there. So I felt I should document it in a book.
All these books, they help us reach out to people that we can't reach out to. So it's more of ministry to me. It's more of reaching out to lives, telling people what God has done with him, and then people seeing from his point of view and then wanting to embrace the love of Christ.
The book entails helping people who feel there is no way out, to show them there is a way out, especially those who are in the bondage of cultism.
Apart from serving as a reference material for researchers, the book also provides immediate and long-term solutions to the social challenge. In Abuja, Umenka Mrachuku, NTA News.
We apologize for that mix-up there. That was not the report on supporters of Oshibajo's declaration for presidency, but on a book titled Attack, Subtle Attack, trying to curb cultism in tertiary institutions. Let's move on to other issues. The Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, is upscaling integration of human artificial intelligence in combating security challenges in Nigeria. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this is the focus of a training at the DIA College in Abuja.
Threats posed by non-state actors in different parts of the country are no longer static, but becoming speedily dynamic with sophisticated weapons.
The need for intelligence sharing and shunning of rivalries is critical to Nigeria's national security.
Availability of credible and timely intelligence alone will not be enough to resolve our country's security challenges without an effective response capability that is aimed on science, technology, and innovation. The convergence of human and artificial intelligence, aided by the utilization of science, technology, and innovation, is therefore one of the frontiers that this course will emphasize on.
To address these complex security challenges, the Defense Intelligence Agency is developing the capacity of these officers to enhance accurate intelligence report to facilitate proactive operations in the front line.
A lot of experts have said we politicize a lot of issues. Security and intelligence are part of those things we politicize. The essence of this particular course is to challenge the middle cadre leaders so that at least let them find a way of carrying their men along in finding solutions to our problems.
The need for positive citizens' attitude towards security issues and development of the nation's military-industrial complex were highlighted. From the Defense Intelligence College in Karo, Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Non-state actors who are enforcing the weekly sit-at-home in the southeast have been urged to reconsider their stand so as to reverse the huge economic losses to the geopolitical zone and the nation. Guest on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria recommended the carrot and stick approach towards addressing the syndrome. Lydia Sampson reports.
As a major component of the Nigerian economy, experts estimate that the Southeast is losing 30 trillion naira weekly to the sit-at-home order, which IPOB has since denounced.
You cannot cut your nose to spite anyone's face. And if you are doing it for the Igbos, as I said, you're not doing it for the Igbos because all over the country, we live happily across the length and breadth of the country. And we also invest where we live. And the poverty in the land is not peculiar to the Igbos. The unemployment is not peculiar to the Igbos.
We lost focus on what should be done. We lost attention that should have been paid to the growing generation. Today in the Southeast, you see keke drivers, Okada riders becoming members of cult groups. It is from this population that these leaders of this agitating movement were able to mobilize.
While applauding the Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Solodu, for offering the olive branch to join in agitators, other governors in the geopolitical zones are advised to emulate the gesture.
I call on all Anambarians to rise up to the challenge and work with the governor at the community level, at all levels of governance in Anambra State. The people themselves, they have to take their destiny into their own hands.
It is important that we take it up as a national issue, and whatever we can contribute, both at the national level and all of that, to ensure that we have a lot more engagement to see whether deepening the engagement can also work.
They are optimistic that with more engagements and holistic approach, the self-inflicted problem of sit-at-home will become a thing of the past. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari this Monday afternoon spoke to Ban Ki-moon over the phone and said Nigeria is in full appreciation to the former United Nations Secretary General for his commitment towards the progress and socio-economic development of the country. President Buhari reiterated his long-standing respect and admiration for the two-time UN scribe and thanked him for initiating the call. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says Ban Ki-moon commended the President for his handling of security and related challenges facing the country. He expressed appreciation for the support of two prominent citizens of Nigeria, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, President's Chief of Staff and one-time UN Under-Secretary General, and Mrs. Amina Mohammed, the current Deputy Secretary General, saying that they are among the best he had ever worked with. Let's turn to other issues. Nigeria is said to be losing between $15 to $18 billion to illicit financial flows annually. To curb the menace, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, is equipping investigators, prosecutors and tax inspectors from various agencies on how to curb illicit financial flows in the country. The chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonoye, says illicit financial flows continue to pose a challenge to development, and to stop the trend, there is need to track the channels through which the activities are carried.
Massive resource leakages happens through corruption, tax evasion, and aggressive tax avoidance from Nigeria and other African countries to places called tax havens and offshore financial centers. This is one of the key issues of conversation today. How do we stop this sort of thing from happening?
IFFs are high and increasing. So the latest estimates have taken us over 80 billion. And that's usually a result of segmentation, maybe just a trade dimension. Because the corruption, of course, you know how it is, they are hiding it. So it's not so easy to track. It's not that if the people are announcing that they are taking these monies out.
Financial accountability, transparency and integrity are some of the outcomes expected at the end of the training. Let's head to Lagos to join Michael. He'll pick up from there.
Thank you, Ruth. Stress at workplace is considered the primary stressor. It is said to affect individuals' psychological and physical health, and as well as the organization effectiveness. In this report, correspondent takes a look at work-related stress and implications, especially in Lagos.
Work-related stress has now been recognized by the World Health Organization as a global challenge for workers as well as organizations. This has serious effect on the workers' health. Employees who deal with the problem of work-related stress are often faced with low motivation, less productivity, low satisfaction levels, and less safety at workplace. Magdalene Ukudo is a financial analyst. She shares her personal experience on how she manages work-related stress.
Know your job very well. This can help you organize yourself. I know when to do things to meet your deadline, and to be able to allow your boss, maybe you come out with a plan for your boss to know that, yes, I can be able to do this without too much stress on yourself.
For these respondents, being truthful to oneself by knowing how one's body works will help manage work-related stress.
Do you take some sporting activities? Do you move around? Do you, at least at some certain age, the limbs and the bones and joints start to give way?
What I do most of the time, if I'm under pressure at work and I'm stressed, I just leave my office, and walk around, see friends, close colleagues, just gist with them for 2-3 minutes, and I'm relieved. I come back refreshed.
Dr. Femi Ogunremi is a medical practitioner. He says workers must devise ways to plan their lives to effectively manage work-related stress.
It's important for us to know that at some point we need to, sit back and then reflect on everything and then put a table of contents that, okay, these are the things I need to do. Which of them is important? Let's prioritize. Important one, let's do when it's necessary.
Determining causes of stress and addressing the challenges are vital in the survival of individuals and organizations. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Building and sustaining vibrant democracy requires more women participation in politics and also enable them address critical issues affecting them. Amaka Owo sorts the views of some stakeholders and now reports.
Politics, many believe, is one of those sectors with a shortfall in the number of female participants given the large number of women population in the country. Data shows that the 9th National Assembly has only 18 female serving members. As political activities gradually build up towards 2023 general elections, women have been encouraged to get involved in active politics.
As a professional woman, don't just sit back and say, oh, this is my profession. We all must get involved from our community, from your ward, from where you live, from your local government. Even if you are not contesting elections, participate. It's our destiny.
Politics is a game of interest. You have your own interest, I have my own interest, and I want to put my own people, you want to put your own people.
Several factors, such as high cost of participation in politics, stereotypes, among other societal and social factors, have been attributed as issues discouraging women involvement. That notwithstanding, women have been told to brace up to the challenge, as many believe the gains are more.
Interesting. I urge all our women to please come out and join politics. Initially, I used to think that politics is not a good place to be, but I have learned a lot.
If they don't want to join politics because some of them did not go to school, because some of them cannot speak, I encourage them to join politics. Politics is very good. It's something that you meet people.
Beyond the fact that many women are believed to be eligible to be involved in politics, many are of the view that the political terrain might be extremely too tough for them to have strong hold, as they are considered the weaker sex. Stakeholders further canvass for more institutional support for women interested in politics. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Remember that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for update. Time.
Join us. Sokoto State Government has begun distribution of foodstuff and textile materials worth over 396 million naira to 17,000 less privileged persons as part of its special Ramadan welfare program. Sheikh Muhammad Detti completes the report.
The beneficiaries include widows, orphans, and other less privileged persons drawn from the 87 districts across the 23 local government areas in the state. The aim is to improve their welfare, especially during the month of Ramadan. Governor Amin Waziri Tambol, represented by his deputy Manir Muhammad Nya, said government will continue to come up with programs aimed at ensuring that the less privileged live a happy life. Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, commended the state government and wealthy individuals for assisting the needy through the Zakat and Endowment Commission, pledging continued support towards putting smiles on the faces of less privileged. Chairman, Zakat and Endowment Commission, Mala Muhammad Lawal Medoki, said since the inception of the commission in 2014, it has expended billions of naira on programs for the less privileged, funded by wealthy individuals, governments, and donor agencies.
The Commission, in its 10-year plan, has intended to reduce object poverty in Sokoto State by the year 2030, inshallah.
Some of the beneficiaries who spoke to NTA News commended the state government for coming to their aid. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Sokoto State Ministry of Health has banned the sale of drugs in any form or system by hospital staff to patients across the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Muhammad Ali Inami, said this while inaugurating the distribution of procured drugs to 104 state health facilities under the Revived Drug Revolving Fund scheme. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
Drug Revolving Fund is a scheme where drugs and medical consumables are sold at a low price, plus markup, and the revenue is used to replenish stocks while ensuring that the drugs remain affordable. For over 20 years, the program had been ineffective in most states of the country, including Sokoto State. With the creation of Drugs and Medical Supplies Management Agency in the state, the program is now being revived with this distribution of second phase of drugs to 106 hospitals and primary health centers in the state. Commissioner for Health, Ali Ename, said the system has the potential to promote access and ensure the availability, affordability, and sustainability of quality drugs and medical consumables. With this advantage, Dr. Ename urged health and medical workers to desist from any form of selling personal drugs to patients, as such will attract severe punishment.
We have supervision and monitoring teams that will be going to this hospital on unscheduled visits to see whether they have adhered to these directives.
Meanwhile, the commissioner has received a brand new ambulance donated to the ministry by the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. Presenting the key of the ambulance, Special Advisor to the Governor on SDGs, Kabiru Aliyu, said the ambulance is part of SDGs' contribution to cushion the effect of the second wave of COVID-19. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Now you can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and on our YouTube channel NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter handle at NTA News Now, our Facebook page NTA Network News, and Instagram NTA Network for updates. And that's it from here. It's now back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Sadia. Construction work has commenced at the Port Harcourt to Maiduguri narrow gauge reconstruction project. Minister of Transportation Chibuike Rotimi Amici, while inspecting the project, says the target is to get the track lane from Port Harcourt to Enugu completed by September this year. Oina Kalawoka reports.
The contractors have been mobilized and work has commenced.
I've started removing the old lines. They will replace the old lines with new ones, all the way from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri.
It is a project that is to be reconstructed, so the work is expected to be fast, says the Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amici.
So I expect that by the time we come here, formation work should have commenced and should have gotten, if it doesn't get up to the watch, we're quite close to the one set of formation work. Clearing should have either gotten to Imo River or have exceeded Imo River. If we must meet the target of August, September to get to Enugu, both in terms of track lane, what we're trying to do in this narrow gauge line is to build the same infrastructure to that you have. You can never tell when you build the standard gauge on this line. They have some level of funding. I hope that we'll secure the loan before they exhaust what we currently have.
He urged the contractors to work in different gangs in order to hasten the completion of the project.
You can't stop working from Enugu. So you have the gang in Enugu, we have the gang in Port Harcourt. You're supposed to have about 3 to 4 gangs between Port Harcourt and Enugu.
Yeah, actually, we have more gangs. Now we have 2 gangs here to dismount in the trucks because the station is wider, bigger.
The rehabilitation and reconstruction of the Port Harcourt to Maiduguri Eastern Narrow Gauge project will link 14 states when completed in 36 months. Oyinaya Kaloka, NTA News.
With the clamour over the congestion of Apapa, Lagos port and suggestion of alternatives from eastern ports in Nigeria to ease traffic of export and import activities, stakeholders are taking advantage to positioning Calabar port as a major non-oil export hub in the country. Paul Abe reports that a forum held in Calabar brainstormed on the challenges and developed strategies towards achieving this feat.
Export is an integral part of improving a nation's foreign exchange, and ports play a significant role towards accomplishing such tasks. But with only Tinkan and Lagos Apapa ports functioning at optimal level, while others struggle to make impact, the need to access the situation becomes imperative. This set the tone of discussion by key industry players who opine on improving the non-oil sector to contribute to the nation's GDP.
We think that from here, a lot of exports can go into the Central, South Africa.
The non-dredging of the Calabar ports has posed a perennial problem. We've heard about this dredging for over 20 years now.
Taking a look at alternate sources of income other than oil and in promoting export, speakers highlight the role of NPA, terminal operators, the private sector among others, on using Calabar Port as a major non-oil export hub in Nigeria. The dredging of Calabar Port, comparative analysis, realities, challenges, and the way forward were also brought to the fore.
We know that cargoes come to the port at the owner's choice, at the owner of cargo choice. We need to work on that. That is just the issue.
The government at the state level, at the federal level, and all the agencies, NPA, NIMASA, Shippers Council, Nigerian Export, they should come together and work, and the customs should actually facilitate trade, and they should not be tax collectors.
A panel discussion further buttressed the need to implement submissions at the forum.
The stakeholders here at the end of the forum and as part of their communique are appealing to the federal government to take a political decision towards dredging the Calabar port as well as other challenges in Calabar. Paul Aber, NTA News.
A two-day policy consultation that will strengthen and provide practical implementation of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program is ongoing in Abuja. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is engaging relevant stakeholders to achieve the desired objective. The National Homegrown School Feeding Program, considered to be the biggest child-friendly initiative in Africa, Nigeria blazing the trail in this regard, even pushing to widen the program to accommodate more.
We will maintain the objectives that
This engagement with relevant partners by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is part of strategies geared towards the implementation of a new policy on the school feeding program that will take into consideration inclusive process for its sustainability.
This policy will serve as a foundation for the success and sustainability of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program and will remain as a guiding document that ensures continued investment from national and subnational stakeholders beyond any singular political dispensation.
About 10 million pupils already covered nationwide, targeting 12 million shortly, bearing in mind cost implication.
Based on the impact of the program, attracting children to attend school, ensuring that children are healthy, the value on this basis has encouraged Mr. President to ensure that this program is sustained.
After the dialogue, implementation of the policy document beyond feeding the child, but also to build capacities of the chain network of the program is also a critical aspect to be considered. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News. All right, let's head to Benin. Ogochukwu is already waiting to bring us reports from that end.
Ruth, welcome to Benin. And now the Oba of Benin, Ewa II, is now the Grand Ambassador of the War Against Drug Abuse, a campaign by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. This ambassadorial position and badge are coming from the Chairman and Chief Executive of the agency in recognition of the Oba's support in the fight against drug abuse. Ivie Oyahire completes the report.
Edo State is widely known to have a fertile land when it comes to the cultivation of crops. This advantage a lot of persons have utilized in an illicit manner by planting cannabis sativa across farmlands and has made the use popular. The issue of drug abuse is another one the agency has been battling with in the state. This is why the NDLEA has come before the Benin monarch to confer him the agency's Grand Ambassador of the War Against Drug Abuse campaign.
It is an instance of this that Nigeria observer that we alone cannot do this. We have to draw critical stakeholders and writers to assist trying to contain nations of abuse.
The Oba gladly accepted this honor done him.
It is a big responsibility on our shoulders facilities from government, federal, state support.
With the reassurance and zeal from the Oba to use his office to help fight against drug abuse, it appears to be goodbye to illicit activities in forest reserves, abuse of drugs, and all other unauthorized activities soon. In Benin, Ivie Oyahire, NTA News.
Telecommunications subscribers in Delta State have been visiting service providers' outlets to have their lines unbarred following the implementation of earlier warnings on blockage of lines of defaulters who failed to link or synchronize their phone numbers to their national identification numbers. NIN. Becky Chukwuka reports.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, directed telecommunications operators to bar outgoing calls on all unlinked SIM cards in the country. The government had earlier in December 2020 ordered all phone lines to be linked to national identification number to curb incidents of crimes. This came as a surprise to many as the deadline for the linkage of the SIM to NIN has been shifted severally to allow Nigerians to comply.
I was affected. My line was restricted. I can receive calls without making calls. People have been complaining. A lot of things have been disturbed. So we beg them to give us more time. Let them turn my line back. So that I will do my business.
Why is it that Nigerians don't like doing what is necessary? So what I advise is that the federal government should cut as many that did not register.
The move has swelled the number of Nigerians at the State Office of National Identity Management Commission seeking to obtain their NIN to link their lines. The presence of security men helped to restore normalcy at the gate. At one of the telecommunications operators' office, Nigerians continue to face challenges as they try to link their SIMs to their NINs. This they described as worrisome, calling for help to enable them continue with their businesses. Out of the nation's 198 million phone connections, 125 million SIM cards have been verified and linked to unique national identification numbers, according to a statement by NCC. It means that over 50 million phone lines have not been linked. In Asaba, Becky Chukwuka, NTA News.
And sincere apologies for the unsteady picture quality in parts of that reports. We now join Suleiman in Kaduna for the
National security challenges requires collaboration between neighboring traditional leaders through regular intelligence gathering and sharing of useful information to security agencies. This is the position of the Emir of Jama'ari in Bauchi State, Alhaji Ahmed Wabi, when he visited Emir of Dutse in Jigawa State. Dr. Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi, Awal Muhammad reports.
Jama'are in Bauchi State shares many cultural and traditional history with Dutse for their common boundary. Little wonder the visit of the Emir of Jama'are, Alhaji Ahmad Muhammad Wabi, was like a homecoming. He described Dutse and Jama'are as two emirates with long-standing historical antecedents that bind them together. For now, the two leaders will work together to promote peace and security of their domains.
Highly impressed, and the way he's uniting various emirs, I'm also impressed because I have seen an example. So may his reign continue and may he live long. I wish him a good relationship with his subjects and a good tenure of his leadership in Dutse Emirate.
The Emir of Dutse, Dr. Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi, appreciated the Jama'are Emir for the fraternal visit and urged him to maintain the long relationship. Dutse is the first emirate to receive the new Emir of Jama'are after his ascension to the throne recently. From Dutse, Awal Muhammad, NTA News.
Motion of self-reliance among pastoralists to reduce restiveness through skills acquisition is what the National Commission for Nomadic Education focused its attention to. About 900 youths from 7 states were trained in various vocational skills. Sunday Adamu reports.
This is part of steps adopted by the Commission to reduce redundancy and overdependence among youth, especially flying nomads and fishermen. They were trained in fashion design, hairdressing, modern livestock and dairy production.
We train based on your own want and need.
Debu Suleiman and Amarachi Okoro said, this strategy is rewarding as it allowed them to explore their hidden talent.
And then they train us how to sew so that we can penetrate this to other places that they don't have idea about this.
I can now go to Enugu State, then start developing my skills. After developing my skills, I can equally introduce this to my other friends who are interested. Then we can all together use it to earn something.
The idea behind this training workshop is also to create job opportunities for these teeming youth with a view to reducing insecurity.
We believe that by the time you give them skills, they'll be able to gain employment and be able to also transfer such skills and use it in their society.
This type of training will serve as a bridge of future investment among unemployed youth in the country. Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
And just before I hand you over to Roots in Abuja, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, Twitter, NTA News Now, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. Roots, it's over to you.
Thank you, Suleiman. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, is celebrating the brand new equipment been installed for full digital transmission and improved service delivery to the public. Management of the station appreciates the Director General, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, and the federal government for the equipment. Doris Akumoye reports.
In line with the federal government's commitment for all television stations to embrace digital transmission, the management of NTA is marching words with action by providing digital audio mixer, cameras, stand amplifiers, digital audio monitor speakers, tripods, microphones, among others, to NTA Yenagua to enable the station meet up with modern broadcasting standards. Leader of the installation team, Engineer Adeniro Dewale, says the digital equipment will change the screen and give a standard production quality of global acceptance.
This new equipment will change the picture quality and the crispness of our picture will be better now. And we have a clearer and a wider coverage at the end of the day.
And we say, DJSA, we are very grateful for this gift you are giving to NTA Yenagua. For us, no doubt, this will improve service delivery.
With the upgrade of digital transmission, clients can now have improved production quality for digital and terrestrial outputs. In Yenagua, Doris Akumoye, NTA News.
Upholding cultural values for national development is the drive of a language school in Abuja to offer free classes in the 3 major Nigerian languages to children. Elizabeth Omoriye reports that this is part of efforts to prevent cultures from eroding.
In the quest to harness culture and traditional values, a language school has commenced training of indigenous languages in Nigeria. Favor and Emmanuel are teenagers with interest to understand more Nigerian languages.
Like when you are with 2 people, if you want to tell the person your secret, when another person there, you use your dialect.
They represent thousands of young persons keen on promoting local languages. There are strong beliefs that culture play a vital role in societal development and shaping of national values.
It is a sacrilege for an African child of Nigerian origin to speak fluently in English language and unable to communicate well in his or her own dialect of origin. This is to enhance the communication capacity of the resident children and to enrich their knowledge with African culture and its unique values.
Local language in the community is very, very important. And it will enable the people in the community to communicate effectively. Now, sometimes you discover that people are fighting because of language barrier. So through this, we will help the community to communicate effectively.
According to communicators, learning a language can be daunting, but it is the only way to communicate with people from different cultures. They advocate cultural integration and regular interaction between parents and their children to prevent extinction. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has distributed food items to more than 400 internally displaced persons in Ojoku and Gba local government area in Kogi State. The gesture is aimed at giving displaced persons a sense of belonging and to meet their needs, especially in difficult times. Michael Abiji reports.
The beneficiaries consist of displaced persons and the less privileged from the local government and beyond, who converged at the community secondary school, Ojoku. Items including rice, beans, maize, noodles, and several other household provisions were distributed.
Feel anxiety. We are very, very happy to this gesture. Since we are alive, we never see this canteen in our community before. We thank her very much. May God bless her.
A very happy day to me and the entire community. May Almighty Allah reward her abundantly.
Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, was represented by Director, Account and Finance, Abubakar Usman Gambo. This gesture by National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Displaced Persons is in line with the President Muhammadu Buhari policy to support the poor and needy and provide succor to less privileged members of the society. From Ankpa, Kogi State, Michael Abiji, NTA News.
Sports.